Today I want to share 5 of my favorite OneNote tips with you. These include built-in features that I find really useful and personal processes that I've developed over time to work more efficiently. So whether you're new to OneNote or already an expert, I hope you'll find at least a few of these tips useful. Before I begin any working session, I make sure that I have all of the files and information that I need for this work ready to go. Because I don't want to have to stop in the middle of my work to look for things that's going to pull me out of my flow and slow me down. It's like when you're working on a home DIY project, you want to make sure that you have all of the tools and parts. Otherwise, you're going to be making multiple trips to your Home Depot or other hardware stores and really slow down your project. So when I'm working on a project, I set up a cover page with links to all the files and information that I need. Now, if you work as a part of a team, I'm sure you have shared files that you use to collaborate. These files can live anywhere, like your own OneDrive, your team member's Google Drive, or even a Dropbox that belongs to an outside agency partner. But I don't really care where the files are hosted, because if I have them all listed in one place, when I'm ready to work on this project, they're all accessible with a single click. And they don't all need to be files either. If there is a website that I need to use for this project, or even a phone number to an agency or business partner that I need to call whenever I start this work, I list them all on this cover page. Let me show you how I set this up. So I'm just going to replicate what I have showing on the screen. So first, I like to set up a table. You don't have to do this. So I'm going to go to Insert, Table, and I'll just create 3 columns and in this case 5 rows. We can always add columns and rows later, so it's not a big deal. And then we will label each column. So the first column, I want to show what the actual name of the file is and the source. You don't need this, but I like to know where the document is being stored. And then I will have a column for the actual links. And then here, let's first navigate to the file that's sitting in our computer. So I have the store organizational chart in PowerPoint that's sitting in my computer. So I will type in store org chart. And then for source, again, you don't need to do this. I like to have it. So I'm going to put PC. And for link, I'm going to right mouse click here and choose link. You can use the shortcut key Control K. Hit this. And then rather than linking to a document that sits within OneNote, I'm going to click on this folder icon to browse the file. And I just happen to be in the right folder, but you can of course navigate to whichever folder that has your file. Click on the file, hit OK, and hit OK again, now that inserted a link to the actual file. So for the next one, we're going to do commission structure analysis. And this file is currently being stored in Google Drive. So I'm going to navigate to Google Drive. I'm going to right mouse click on the file, choose share, and then copy link. Go back to OneNote and just paste it in. And then for the third file, the store labor model, it's being stored in OneDrive. Again, I'm going to open up my browser, navigate to the file, and then hit the 3 dots, go to share, copy link, go back to OneNote, paste it in. I think you get the idea at this point. We'll just do one more. Employment cost index. Now this file is just sitting on the web. So we'll go back to it. Going to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. And I will go to data tools. And where is the cost index? I don't know, let's just say it's the inflation calculator. Click that. And then I can just copy this web address and put it in OneNote. So next time, let's say I need to work on this project on the store labor model, And I don't need to now search for where are the files, what files do I need. I don't have to think about any of that. I can just come to my cover page, right? So I put store labor model cover page. This will be the first page in the section for this project. And I can just click on the file to open. So for me, this is a super handy process. I use this not only for my project, but any work areas that I manage. I always put all of the necessary files in the cover page so that I can easily and quickly access them. The one thing I appreciate about paper notebooks is that the notes are primarily organized chronologically. So the older notes are going to be towards the front of the page, and the more recent notes are going to be towards the back. And you can flip through the pages very quickly to find the notes that you need based on when you took the notes. But OneNote notebooks are not easily organized this way. Many people actually naturally structure their notes within sections, by topics, by projects, or various areas of their life, which is a very effective way to organize their notes. But sometimes you just want to look at the notes that you took recently, like yesterday or even last week. Thankfully, OneNote offers a convenient feature that allows you to do just that, searching notes by date. How you do this is by going to the History tab, click on Recent Edits, and you can see notes that were modified today, yesterday, 7 days ago, last 14 days, so on and so forth. But I'm going to go all the way down to click on Pages Sorted by Date. When I do this, it'll scan through my current notebook. There are not that many notes here, but I'm going to drop down and choose Search All Notebooks. This might take a couple of seconds or even a couple of minutes, depending on how many notebooks and notes you have. For me, the information has refreshed. Right now, you can see that I have my notes sorted by date modified. You have other options here. If you click on drop down, you can sort notes by section, title, author. But again, we're interested in looking at our notes chronologically. So this is a good option, sort by date modified. And you can see all the notes that I've taken today, yesterday, this week, last week. So this is a very easy way, especially if you don't remember how you named your notes and you can't find it, or you know that you took down some important information, but you don't know where you saved it, you don't know what you called it, and you don't recall the keywords. This is an easy way for you to find your notes. I hope you're enjoying these videos so far. Before we move on to the next one, I wanted to mention today's sponsor, Skillshare. They offer classes taught by industry experts, broken into short, easy-to-watch videos that fit perfectly into your busy schedule. When I'm looking for a quick casual tips, I usually search on YouTube. But if you want to pick up a real skill like drawing or using Photoshop, having a well-organized content really accelerates your learning. Skillshare provides high-quality lessons laid out in a clear, logical order, allowing you to build understanding at your own pace. They even offer a learning path with multiple classes to help you truly master specific skills. They now have an entire section on using AI and applying it to different domains like photography and writing. If that sounds interesting, check out the link in the description below. The first 500 people who click will get a free 1-month trial to explore everything Skillshare offers, completely risk-free. Thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. This is a handy tip, especially for project managers and meeting facilitators. If you have recurring meetings that you're responsible for facilitating, like project status update meetings, you know how painful and tedious it can be to plan and build agendas for each meeting. For these, you can actually create templated pages for each meeting in advance, like you can do this for the next 20 meetings. And whenever you identify a deadline, a milestone, or a check-in point, you can add them to the future meeting agendas so that you can follow up at the appropriate time. Let me explain what I mean by this. So let's say I need to have a meeting every Monday with the team who's helping me on this project to build a store labor model. And I want to check in on the progress. So I created this very simple meeting notes template just for the sake of illustration. So let's say that for each weekly meeting, I want to give time to team members who want to present their section, maybe to get some feedback or input. So I will capture who's going to present at this meeting, what topic they're presenting on, and how much time they need in this meeting. So I have a little section for that. And then I also want to be able to check in on people to provide their status update based on the project timeline. So this is, again, a simple meeting notes template that I created. What I'll do now is I'll go to Insert and choose Page Templates. And I'll click on Page Templates again. And that will open this side pane. At the bottom here, you can see I have the option to save the current page as a template. So I will do that. And I'll set this, well, let's give it a name first. Labor Model Template. And then I'll click this button to set this as a default template page. Whenever I create a new page within this section, it will automatically bring this template up. So if I hit save, I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to add a page, and guess what? That has the same template applied. I add another page that already has the template applied. Let me go ahead and delete these two. So now what I'll do is I know that this meeting happens every Monday. So rather than creating different pages and renaming this, what I'll do is go to Excel. Here I'm going to put May 5th, 2025, May 12th, 2025. And now with the two dates, I could select the two cells, right mouse click, drag it all the way down till the end of the year, let it go, and then I can just click Fill Series. That recognizes a pattern, so it's going to give me all these dates. Now I'm going to select all, Control C to copy, go back to OneNote. I'll paste it. Hit Control again, because I don't want to paste it as a table. I just want to paste it as text. I'll click on this Keep Text Only option. Okay. I'm going to select this again, the full list of dates, right mouse click, and link to pages. And guess what happens? It creates different note pages with the meeting dates already there. When I click on any of these meeting dates, you have the templates already. Now, how does this help you? Let's say there's a major milestone on June 12th. And so you want to check in on June 16th to make sure that that milestone was met. You want to go to June 16th and you want to put a reminder, so to speak, right? To say, now you don't have to worry about this. When June 16 hits and then you open up this page, you already have part of the agenda built, right? Let's say you have someone on your team who wants to present a part of the labor model for alignment with the rest of the team members, right? And they want to present this information on May 26th. So you go to May 26th and you put, okay, so James wants to present and he needs just 15 minutes. So you do this, especially for longer projects. You want to lay out all your recurring meeting dates on OneNote so that as you get information on project, I mean, they could be delivered via email. Someone might be messaging you to give you some updates. You want to plug in those bits of information into your future agenda. So when the meeting time comes around, you have a lot of the agenda topics built already, that you're not scrambling to put something together for your next meeting. I love incorporating visual aids into my notes. Not only does it help me quickly identify a specific note page among a sea of other notes, but visual elements also enhance my understanding and memory by clearly illustrating relationships and concepts. Having an infinite canvas is perfect for this because I can really spread out and not be bound by the size of the note page. I know OneNote's built-in tools for creating diagrams and graphic contents are severely limited to basic shapes, but there are so many external tools these days that make visualizing ideas really easy. Platforms like ChatGPT, Napkin AI, and Canva offer really user-friendly options. I even integrate mind maps from Notebook LM directly into my OneNote pages. Let me give you some examples of this. So I have this blank canvas here, and let's start out with ChatGPT. Sometimes before I start reading a book, I like to read through a quick summary so that I can prime myself to absorb and understand the information a little better as I read through the book. So in this case, I'm reading a book called How to Speak, How to Listen by Mortimer Adler. And what I did was I put in a prompt into ChatGPT to give me a quick summary of the book. So the summary itself is really helpful, but I want a one-page infographic that captures the essence of the main ideas covered in the book. So then what I did was, if you scroll all the way down, using the create image feature of ChatGPT, I just asked for it to create an infographic, and this is what it gave me. Now I can download this file. I'm going to copy, go back to my OneNote note page, and just paste it in. And I can resize it the way I want, but now I have this nice visual information captured. And I can take more notes on the margins of the page. Again, I have an infinite canvas, so I can make this smaller, larger, it doesn't matter, but OneNote makes it super easy to paste images. So the other example that I have is, this is from Notebook LM, Google's Notebook LM. And I love this because there's so many things that you can do with this in terms of creating podcasts from your notes and different sources. It even does a mind map. And that's what I did here. I did a little research in terms of enhancing retail training, and based on the different contents that I was able to pull from the internet, I had it consolidate and create a little mind map. So when I open it, I can expand different sections. Now let's say I want to save this into OneNote. I'm going to go ahead, click on download. I'll copy that and just paste it in. And of course I can make it bigger. Again, not being bound by fixed borders of a page is really helpful in situations like this. The last example that I want to share with you is using Napkin AI. So this is another tool which I find it really helpful actually for building presentations. I can write different information and then have Napkin AI visualize that information in the form of graphics and visual elements. So for example, to give you an example, let's see, design a bonus and incentive program to improve team cohesion and promote collective success versus individual achievement. Let's see how it visualizes this. Okay, it gives me a few different options, pros and cons. Great, I want to add this. So what I'll do is click on it, download. I want to do it as a PNG with transparency. In this case, I can just copy it to the clipboard. I don't have to actually download it. And paste it into OneNote. Again, having an infinite canvas means you can copy and paste all these different visual elements from different websites. You can even create your own. And also you can layer in your own text if you want to make it a really visually enriched note page. As I just shared with you, I love OneNote's infinite canvas, and I like the fact that I can click anywhere on the canvas to start writing or to add contents. But sometimes I do want a little structure in my notes. And for this, I often use tables. I can add both the text and images within a cell, and I can resize them the way that I want, and I can even hide the borders after for a cleaner look. Let me show you what I mean. So on the canvas now, I have 3 images that I brought in from Napkin AI, and they're sort of just randomly placed, and it's not easy to kind of organize them together. Okay, so in this case, what I could do is I can add a couple of tables, and I can bring in the image. I'm going to hit Control X to cut, and I'll paste it into a cell within my table. Now this brings a little structure to the notes, and I can even resize the table, and I can even put headers. So this is about full-time equivalency, this is about, I don't know, hours, and this is about bonus. And I could center the text. I can even fill in the colors of the table cells. I'll make this black, and I'll make the text white to make it stand out. And I can even hide the borders of the table if I like. Go back to table, hide borders, but it still maintains the structure. Well, in this case, I think it does look better with the border, but you get the idea. And what I often do is, even when I'm taking notes, I'll add a single cell and I'll type in a bunch of, it could be a full paragraph, it could be a whole section, and then I'll just color the cell and hide the borders just to have some visual distinction. So I can do this again, a cell, I can type in random things, choose a different color, hide the borders. So again, it just brings in a little nice visual enhancements to your notes and brings some organization and structure to your notes by using tables and table cells. Okay, those were my 5 favorite OneNote tips. I hope you found at least some of these helpful, and then you can actually use them in your own OneNote workflow. If you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more OneNote tips and tricks, and don't forget to share this video with anyone you think might find it useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.